This week, we're walking with Jesus through Holy Week. While we cannot touch on every event the Gospels describe in the days between Palm Sunday and the Passion, we can touch on a few of them. They are representative of the tone and tenor of the relationship between Jesus and the religious authorities in the days leading up to his death. Today, Jesus gives the scribes yet another poke in the eye. Hello, I'm Stuart Baskin, pastor of First Presbyterian Church of Tyler, Texas, and this is your daily devotional for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. One of the most often quoted and even misquoted sayings of Jesus takes place in these days between Palm Sunday and the Passion. It is the saying about rendering to Caesar the things that are Caesar's. At first blush, it doesn't seem to be a very controversial saying, but read in the context of the larger story, it shows Jesus at his wily best. The story is on the longest side, and to really get the full flavor, we would have to read what comes before it, but if I did that, it would take all of our time for today. So instead, let me set the stage. The chief priests and the scribes have come to Jesus while he's teaching in the temple to ask him on whose authority he is teaching. Religious authorities are funny that way. They want to maintain a certain amount of control over what is taught within the area of their authority. There's nothing especially wrong with this, at least on the face of it. After all, we still do the same thing today. But in the context of Holy Week, it is clearly a challenge to Jesus. He answers with a question of his own regarding the authority by which John the Baptist had baptized, and it put the scribes and chief priests in an awkward position, so they did not offer an answer. Next, Jesus tells a parable about a vineyard in which the absentee owner sent servants to collect rents from the tenants. Each one of the servants is abused until finally, when the landowner sends his own son, the tenants kill him. When the chief priests and scribes realize Jesus is talking about them, they hatch a plan to catch him saying something that would get him arrested by the Roman authorities. The plan is to plant some people in the crowd listening to him teach. This is where we pick up the action. So they watched him and sent spies who pretended to be honest in order to trap him by what he said, so as to hand him over to the jurisdiction and authority of the governor. So they asked him, "Teacher, we know that you are right in what you say and teach, and you show deference to no one, but teach the way of God in accordance with truth. Is it lawful for us to pay taxes to the emperor or not?" But he perceived their craftiness and said to them, "Show me a denarius. Whose head and title does it bear?" They said, "The emperor's." He said to them, "Then give to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's." And they were not able, in the presence of the people, to trap him by what he said. And being amazed by his answer, they became silent. On the face of it, this is a story about paying taxes to the governor, and it has been used over the centuries to justify paying taxes. All well and good, but this isn't really about paying taxes. In the first place, it is about an attempt to set Jesus up for arrest by tempting him to say something that would place himself in direct opposition to the Roman authorities. And as you can see by his answer, he deftly sidesteps the trap. But what this story is really about is something much, much deeper. It is about us and who we belong to. When Jesus asks about whose head and title are on the denarius, the Roman currency, he's asking a deep question. Caesar's image is on the coin. It belongs, therefore, to Caesar. But when Jesus continues by saying, "Give to God the things that are God's," he's really saying that because we are made in the image of God, we belong to God. Not only is this a clever way to sidestep the trap set by the chief priests and the scribes, it makes a much deeper point for us to remember during Holy Week, and really all the time. And that is, whatever we and however we identify ourselves, At the end of the day, we ultimately belong to God above all others and above all else. Tomorrow, Jesus renders to the scribes yet another poke in the eye. But for now, may God continue to bless you and keep you in all that you do this day and in all the days ahead.